And okay,
How are you?
I am well, my love. I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you tonight for however long we chat.
Ah,
I'm, all,
Everlong.
I'm all yours.
I'm sure. I'm sure. What
I'm
is
all
going on?
yours. Um, Whenever you want me to start, let me know.
Listen, I don't know if everything is sharing like it's supposed to on your end. Um,
It's shared on my end, but hey, everyone that's watching, please share. Share it from her network page or share it from my page. She is tagged, so it should be on her page because we want this story to definitely get out.
let's make sure that it is, doing what it does first before we actually
Okay.
start.
Yeah, no
Let me check.
problem. No
Let
problem.
me check another source right quick.
Okay. It's on mine. I do know that.
Well, it's on yours. Okay,
It's
cool.
on mine. Yes.
Initially, give us just a second, y'all. Give us just a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on the other page.
On your regular page? Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
on that one. I
Oh, it
just
is.
checked it
It's
too.
there. It's there.
Oh, it is? Okay, good,
Yeah,
good, good.
it's there.
Perfect.
It's there. So we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right.
Um, it's the floor is yours, darling. First of all, I
Okay.
want to say before we get started, I see a lot of people that I'm familiar with. I'm sure y'all coming in from YouTube. I want to say welcome. And if anybody knows me, I don't do interviews with anybody. I'm a private person, so I just like to keep it that way. Unfortunately, this young lady has been tremendously doing something great for our community. Single handedly her and her partner in crime reached out to the icons of the community and wanted to highlight them and get their stories. And they have been after me for a minute, but I have been extremely busy. And secondly, I have been really trying to get my network off the ground. So I decided if we're going to do it, I'd rather do it on my network
Of
than
course.
therefore we're killing two birds with one stone. But I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for this because I have so much respect for you.
Mhm.
You are a lot like me, and I
I
stated
am.
that last night when we talked. It's not that you're outspoken, but you're firm with what you say, whatever that may be, and I
Right.
respect that. And I want
Thank
to give
you.
somebody an opportunity that has known me for a number of years,
Hmm.
to actually, if I'm going to sit down and talk to anybody, I
Hmm.
would prefer to be with you. So with that
Thank
being
you for
said,
that.
hey Katrina, how are you? Let's go.
All right. So again, if you are just not tuning in, make sure that you share this, get this out. It is public, so Tamisha can be heard. I'm gonna start deep. Legend. Legend and icon is a word that is often described for many of people. And your
Okay.
name comes up all the time with that.
Mm-hmm.
Answer me this. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel that that is warranted when it comes to you? And how does that make you feel to know that you are known as an icon and a legend in our community?
Well, honestly, I think I earned that title. I'm going to say that. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I think it's a very important title because nowadays it's thrown around loosely. There's no actually merit to claiming that. I feel like being in the game, I'm not even going to say I've been in the game 30 plus years, but just being in the game a decade, you're on your way to becoming an icon. It just depends on who you are and what your path in life is.
Mhm.
I wear it well. I feel like I've earned it. For me, it's just a level of respect. It's no big titles. It's just people have grown to respect you over the years for your contribution.
Right. Okay. So, earn your respect. Take us back. Back. I don't want to say back too many times. I don't know how old you are. But take us back to when, where, why, and how Tamisha Iman even came about.
Ooh, well, that is sickening. Um, so Tamisha Iman came about as a money making venture for my mother, Chanel St.
Okay.
James. She was getting ready for Continental.
Okay.
And I think it was 2 months prior to Continental. Joe Jackson, my gay father, used to have a pageant. It was a closet ball pageant.
Okay.
And we were just trying to raise money. So initially, my ex was supposed to be put in the pageant. He still did the pageant. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but Chanel and Naisha was playing in my face one day. Chanel was like, "Let me paint you. See, let me just paint half of your face." Back then I'm all against it. I was a male entertainer, so I was not with it. Whatever, whatever. She painted half of my face, sickening. I looked nice. She was like, "Bitch, you look good."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Well, girl, go ahead and do the other half." So she did the other half. It was very unique, and we got in the pageant. Me and my ex at the time, horrible. When you're young and dumb, you do the crazy stuff. So we
Right.
did the pageant. I won the pageant. Winning the pageant turned everything around for me. 2 weeks later, I had to perform. Being honest, the
Mhm.
generation that came before me, I did not care for how they, interact with new people that were trying to enter the industry. They were very, very nasty, cutthroat. It was a lot. And my drag mother at the time, she gave me everything she needed to give me to be successful. I'm just be honest. She laid the foundation. I studied her. I am. I'm not gonna say I'm completely her reincarnated, but I took a lot from her. Get into it. My thing is, if I'm gonna do this, I have to be the best. So in 2 weeks, I had to learn how to paint my own face to do my performance. Keep in mind, it's just I don't know how, but every day I was putting makeup on 4 or 5 times a day to get it right because I did not want any assistance from these girls that were, a generation before me.
Right.
Got to the set, had to do the number, went in, drag mother thinking she's gonna have to paint me, get to the show, paint myself, a success, and it was done. I mean, Mr. Crawford career was over, and Tamisha career has started. So
Now you're not gonna slip this past me. I heard you say you were. I heard you say you were a male entertainer first.
I
Elaborate,
was.
please.
I actually so my dream growing up, I've always been an entertainer. I wanted to get to Hollywood. That was my goal because I grew up in the fame era. And I was a dancer back in the day. And New York was too far, so Hollywood was not my next venture.
Mhm.
So it did not matter how I got there. I just knew I wanted to entertain. I was young. This was new to me, and I was good. So for a year, I think it was a year, probably a little bit more than a year, I was a male entertainer. I won my first newcomer pageant. And me being who I am, the next year I ran for the girl portion, just me being me. So,
Okay.
but that kicked it off.
So you were successful as a male, you won your
Yes, I
first
was.
pageant, and you were
Mhm.
successful as a female, you won your
Yes, I
first
was.
pageant.
Yes,
Did
I
you
was.
find in that time frame that it was any different, or you just knew it as entertainment?
Girl, let me tell you the point. Bottom line, the males was making $30, $40. When I was on the show, it was I ain't gonna call no names. This is an old drag queen, didn't know her words, wigs was dusted, didn't put on no makeup, came back with $200. I'm out there butt naked, 35. She come back 200. I said, something ain't adding up. It's not
Yeah,
adding up. I gotta fix this.
yeah.
So it was solely about the money at that time.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't worry about the stigma because I always knew who I was. That did not affect me. But it was about the money. It was an industry new to me, but it made money. So I jumped in it. Yeah, I was a
Do
million
you,
percent.
even though the money on the male side wasn't, nor is it still the best, do you ever look back and say, I wonder if I would have stuck it out, would have been the Mr. Everything to your counterpart of Miss?
You know what? Honestly, that was never my goal to be everything. I just wanted to be good.
Okay. Okay.
You know, that's it. I just wanted to be good. That was
Okay.
important. Um, as the years progressed, then we gravitated to, oh, well, maybe I can win this, or maybe I can win that, or maybe, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? It got exciting that way then, but at the time, I just wanted to perform. I just wanted to
You
entertain.
just wanted to
It was
perform.
an
Okay.
escape for me.
Right. So that was your upbringing as well, performing, dance, theater. Was that a part of your upbringing?
No, that's the thing.
Okay.
Well, I went to school of performing arts, but I was there for theater. I wasn't there for dance.
Okay.
So um, life was just. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
I'm from Cooper Green, actually. If you know those projects, I'm
Yes,
from that
ma'am.
those
I
projects.
do.
Okay, so my mother got us out of those projects,
Mhm.
and moving to Atlanta, it was a lot. The transition was straight from straight black communities to mixed
Mhm.
communities.
Right.
So the involvement was amazing. But no, that wasn't my upbringing.
Okay.
That was my
I
upbringing.
find it always interesting that whenever we're doing the little where are they from and who has the most wins in what state, they always
Uh,
leave you out of Alabama, right? Realizing that you're from Alabama because so many people think you're either from Atlanta or you're from Jacksonville, which we'll get to that. But no, she from the Ham.
I'm from the Ham. I'm from the. I claim the Ham faithfully, baby. I'm sorry.
Right. We like
The
that.
Ham don't claim me, but I claim the Ham.
We claim you. We always make it very clear. She Tamisha Iman. So when you started doing drag and you won your first pageant, you done beat your ex. Who were some of the, I guess you could say, icons and legends in that era that you looked up to, or were there any?
It was a lot, but the ones that stood out to me, um, and I always highlight this individual because I have still to this day I have so much respect for her. Paula Sinclair. And the reason why I say Paula Sinclair, a lot of people, they don't know the Paula that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And Paula was always approachable.
Still is.
Everybody was approachable at that time. But Paula was always approachable with without anything. She's not looking for anything. She
Mhm.
just, hey, Nooch, how you doing? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? She was
Yeah.
always caring. She was the mother without being the mother, you know, because she wanted to make sure you're doing right, the things right in life. She was very concerned about that. So Paula and Siobhan, it's crazy. Those two were real to me. They were real.
Mhm.
They've always been real, and I like authentic people.
What's so interesting is that you said two of the people that we had on the opulent show,
Oh,
and
really?
Paula, you have to go back and watch. Paula's interview was about 2.5 hours long because Auntie can talk.
Nooch gets out.
But it was so needed to see a 64-year-old trans woman on the show and her story. And then she called me the next day. She said, "Well, I need a part two. I have so much more to say." I said, "We
Oh,
got
I
you."
love it.
So it's good. I'm glad to hear that you, as an icon and legend, are giving her props because she is definitely deserving of that. Um,
Now, let me say this though before we go any further. Now, the two
Go ahead.
individuals I patterned myself after,
Hmm.
because I have to give these ladies their props, has always been Tommy Ross and Tandy Andrews for two different reasons. I know they were
Okay.
rivals, but for two different reasons. To me, Tommy has always been the black excellence of our community. I'm going to always,
Right.
uphold her with that. Tandy has always been unpredictable.
Hmm.
It didn't matter if you knew what Tandy was doing, you really didn't know what Tandy was doing.
Hmm.
Tandy has always been unpredictable. And those are the individuals that I patterned Tamisha from. To be
Gotcha.
glamorous, beautiful, and confident, but at the same time to be unpredictable. You never know what Tamisha's coming with. You don't know when she's gonna pop up. You don't know, you know?
Mhm.
And that's the joy that
It,
I have for the community.
with them two being the two that you patterned yourself after, what is something that each of them might have taught you, if you don't mind telling us
Well, Tommy taught
specifically?
me how to be graceful. Now, to keep in mind, this is no disrespect to anybody because in life we transition from when Tommy was a boy. Tommy was about the most gracious male I have seen that takes the stage that was captivating, and
Mhm.
it got even worse when she transitioned. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
um, I took that from Tommy. Tandy was approachable. Tandy was a good
Gotcha.
time off of stage, but Tandy was a beast on stage, and I liked that combination. She was very approachable.
Gotcha.
I'm a very the worst thing you can do is ever meet your idol. Sometimes in life, and to have met those two, it was nothing but amazing from the gate.
Hmm. Okay.
Where
Gotcha.
you go? Okay,
Can you see me?
I see you now.
Okay. So take us back to that time when you first started and you were learning how to do your makeup because you are a beast with makeup. You backstage people when you want to. How was that journey for you? Learning to
It
do your own makeup.
it was interesting. It was new. It was like putting all the pieces together. It. it was crazy. That's why I sat in the house, and I have to give it to my ex. He allowed me to sit there. We were working, but like you go to work, come on, that was my thing. He didn't bother me. He allowed me to figure it out, and
Okay.
by just having that support from him to figure it out, it allowed me to have an amazing, long-lasting career as a makeup artist.
Gotcha.
So I'm
Gotcha.
gonna always give him that. But it was exciting because it was new and it was different. You can take
Mhm.
a blank canvas and turn it
Mhm.
into a masterpiece. That was amazing to
Mhm.
me.
Gotcha. Okay. So, anytime in those first few years when you were technically a newcomer, if you want to
Uh,
say, do you have anything that you may have done differently or anything that you regret?
Woo! I don't have any regrets.
Okay.
I don't have any regrets. I done everything the correct way for me at that time, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like
For you.
back in the day, we could only be a newcomer for a year, and you had to get all you were going to get within that year. And
Mhm.
I think I racked up three newcomer titles during that year, but they were in Atlanta. They were the highest titles. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like they were the
Right.
most prestigious of the community.
Right.
Um, yeah,
So you did it that way. Perfect.
I did it that way.
And if I offend you with this, let me know because I know some people don't like it. As a boy queen, do you care for that term?
Why would I? That's what I am.
Well, I know some boy,
Baby, listen, I don't have no
some people
identity
don't like
problem. My name is Mr. Crawford.
it. Okay. As a boy queen, because I know you
uh,
just said you revered Paula and Tommy and
yeah.
Tandy. I know you did, but tell us about the struggles breaking into the business, being a boy queen up against girl queens. And we'll dig deeper in it as your career progressed on down
Okay.
in the conversation. But in the beginning, tell us the effects you might have had.
Okay, so it's like this. My drag mother, Chanel, was a voice queen. She just
Okay.
looked that she could actually be a trans woman.
Okay.
So that right there alone was the blueprint that I used. If she could do it and still be who she is, then I could do it. And
Gotcha.
it wasn't any major struggles. It was just I think it's all about your people that you connect yourself with. And
Gotcha.
I didn't know anything else because my drag mother was one, so that was my past.
Mhm. We've had people, or we know people that were pressured to transition to be Miss this or to go further in their career. Was that ever your experience? Did anybody ever pressure you to go get breast?
No, but okay, let me say this. No, but the pageantry systems that's out there, they did.
Okay.
Not directly, but very indirectly with the the placement of the contestants and who they
Mhm.
favor. So it's like, oh, if I
Mhm.
want if I want to be this, I have to do that.
Mhm.
I don't know if I should be speaking on this, but I'm gonna speak on it because she's my sister for one.
Mhm.
Um, Nicole Love Dupree.
Yeah,
Nicole
she
and
spoke
I.
on it. She talked about it. Mhm.
Okay, so she'd already talked about it.
Yeah, she
But
talked
the
about
thing
it on the
about
show.
it is, she talk about me or she talked about her?
No, she talked about how they pressured her to become a woman and get stuff done to become this Black universe. And then I didn't think to ask her, but you turned around and crowned a boy queen. How does that make you feel? But go ahead. Go ahead.
That was devastating to her. I was gonna say that was the thing.
Yeah.
We both were
Yeah.
boys at the time, and
Mhm.
for her to level up on me, they pressured her to become a trans woman. And
Right.
the next year, I did win, and that devastated her. That put Nicole in a bad place. But
Mhm.
due to the fact that her and I, we were rivals in the beginning,
Mhm.
but over the
Okay.
time, we became friends. Like if
Right.
I don't f with nobody else, I f with Nicole.
Gotcha.
For real, for real.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's just her struggles to know how much people can influence your livelihood.
Hmm.
And even though the decisions may not be bad, I mean, they may not be good, or it depends on how you look at it, they're lifelong decisions.
Hmm.
And no one should pressure you into doing something that they're not going to see through.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
once a person transitions, they're all alone once again, you know,
Right.
and I just feel like you need a support system, and I think you should be
Right.
making choices for yourself, of yourself, for yourself, because
Exactly.
you have to
Gotcha.
live with it. You know.
Gotcha. So Let's talk about Willie a little bit.
Let's go.
Favorite color?
Favorite, I got two. It's black and purple.
Black and purple. Any specific reason, or you just like them together?
Um, well, purple gives me peace.
Oh,
That's my place of peace. But black gives me power.
okay. And you wear a lot of black.
I wear a lot of black. Like my whole wardrobe is black, honey. I
Yes.
do.
You
I'm
wear
very
power.
powerful.
Okay, gotcha. What is your favorite candy bar?
I don't like candy bars.
You don't eat
I'm
candy
not. I'm not.
bars?
I'm not a sweet. I'm not a sweet eater type of. That's not my thing.
Okay, so what's your favorite food?
Ah, shrimp. I love
Okay,
seafood.
okay.
I love seafood.
Seafood. Gotcha.
Seafood.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite pastime? I think I know what you're gonna say, but what's your favorite pastime?
I'm an introvert, so my favorite pastime is being alone by myself.
And I was gonna
Weird.
say being at home by yourself.
Oh yeah, honey. Yeah, that's my sanctuary.
Okay. Favorite city to visit?
I have several, but New Orleans is definitely one.
Okay.
Florida is well. I mean, I would say what part of Florida? I would say Jacksonville. I still love Jacksonville.
Hmm.
Um, I still love Memphis.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, another favorite place is going home, Birmingham. I'm sorry, I love my hometown.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you happen to go to Green Acres when you're home?
No, I don't. My mom does. I don't. I don't. My
She's a
mother.
good woman.
Yeah.
If you could have lunch with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, I have lunch with her all the time. It's Tamisha. I'm not big on celebrities. I'm a celebrity.
You have
I
lunch
have
with
lunch with her
yourself.
often.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
because
lunch
you
with her
are
often.
okay. Okay. What is your passion in life?
Um, to leave this place better than I found it.
Okay. Okay. And how is that journey for you thus far?
Oh, it's amazing because every time I get knocked down, God lifts me back up.
Period. Okay.
So,
Okay. Three things that you could work on about yourself to better yourself.
well, I can't. Well, there are gonna always be three things, but
Mhm.
if you would have asked me this question possibly a couple of years ago, I would have gave you answers. But I've worked on them, so
Okay.
I'm at a good place. You know,
Okay.
I fixed what I needed to fix for self.
Okay. Care to tell us one?
Well, I mean, my attitude for one, I used to have a horrible attitude because I didn't have always know how to express myself.
Mhm.
That was my biggest problem, and I used to have a problem with comprehension, not listening, but comprehending what people are saying to determine, the situation and know how to move properly from that. So that's just two, but I'm good now.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. If you could tell your 18-year-old self something, what would it be?
Not to change who you were, because I did a lot of changing for this industry, and at the end of the day, when you make major changes in life for your career, hey Raquel, sorry, I just saw that. When you make life changing changes for your career,
Mhm.
they kind of sometimes bite you in that. You know what I'm saying? So had I stayed true to myself, because I still got to the same destination at the same time,
Right.
I just would have been more comfortable doing it my way.
Okay. Your favorite artist to perform?
I need a baker.
Okay. Okay.
I
Have
need
you
a
met her?
baker. Huh?
Have you met her in your
No,
time
no,
of
no.
entertaining?
You
Okay.
know, after meeting RuPaul, I'm good on all those of my favorites that I used to desire. I'm
Okay.
good.
We'll talk about
I
that
know.
later. I want to play the I want to play the game with you. I'm not sure if you watched previous shows, but what we do is what I would do is give you 10 words, places, people, things, or what have you,
Oh,
and you
girl.
give the first thing that comes to your mind.
I'm better. Okay.
Your be- you, but remember, be your authentic self.
Oh, that's all I can be, baby. That's it. That is it.
I'm gonna start with someone very easy. Your baby boy, Christopher Iman.
Talented.
Mhm.
What else you
You
want to
met
know?
him that way, or you groomed him to be that.
Both.
Okay.
I like a person. If you can present something to me, I can help you get to the next level. He didn't come empty-handed. He came with a total package. He just didn't know how to manifest it at that time.
Okay. And now, as you can see,
Oh, he's a
mommy
goat.
has taught him well because he is everything.
He is everything. And for me, Christopher is a great person.
He
He
is.
got some
He is.
messed up ways, but we all got messed up ways. But
We do.
overall, he is a phenomenal human being, and I love and
Got
respect that about
When you think of the city of Jacksonville, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
him. Ooh, the beginning. That's my
Okay.
beginning. That's where life started to really make sense in this industry for me. Also Duval, being a
Duval.
former Duval is everything. That okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna always rep Duval to the day I die. But far as national, I won Miss National when I was living in Jacksonville, and to be able to make them proud and put them on the map, and then to see all the amazing people that have come behind me, you know, continuing to put that on the map, I take tremendous pride in that. I do. No
Uh,
disrespect.
right. I'm a pin this right here because I did have this question come to me last night. They want
Uh-huh.
to know, when will you return to Miss Duval?
When is my 30th? Next
Not
year?
Tamisha.
See, I
So,
don't either. When they
so
let
if
me
you're
know,
watching,
I'll be
if you're
there.
watching, she's gonna come back for her 30th. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
her 30th. Okay. So number three, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the name Tanisha Iman?
Oh my God. Proud.
Mhm.
Like I am, baby. Let me explain something to you.
Please go ahead.
That Ti stamp and this Ti original, baby. We started out like oil and water. I'm sorry. The thing about
Mhm.
Tanisha was a spoiled brat, has always been, but at the
Still
same
is.
time, Tanisha was so talented,
Mhm.
and she was not gonna do it unless you made her do it. Like I
Mhm.
used to paint Tanisha forever and a day. One day I was painting her, and I knew I had skipped something, but she called it to my attention, and that was the last time I painted her. She said, "Oh, mama, you didn't do the thing." I said, "I didn't do the what? The thing? Oh, baby, you got it from here. Then if you know I didn't do the thing, you got it."
Do you know
And it
what
was
to
a
do?
big mess. I am proud of her though,
Mhm.
because talk about life kicking you down and you bouncing back
Mhm.
and running full speed ahead still,
Mhm.
still.
Mhm.
Oh, tremendously proud.
That's good.
Tremendously proud.
When you think of your mother, Chanel St. James, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Grateful
Grateful.
because of the fact that Chanel was not a let me say this. Chanel was a fun mother. She was not no if you say I'm not gonna do it, she's like, okay.
Okay. Mhm.
She didn't force you to do anything.
Mhm.
But she loved on me.
Mhm.
And I was supposed to be a St. James, but my drag mother would make anybody her child.
Okay.
And when Muncie and them came along, keep in mind, Muncie St. James has not always been the Muncie that we know. When
Mhm.
Muncie came to my mother, he was a horrible brat. And he was the reason why I did not take the St. James last name. He was like, I couldn't. He was too bad. And she loved him. And he was
Mhm.
spoiled, and she just gave him everything she wanted. I mean, everything he wanted. But I have much respect for Chanel. She
Okay.
she 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 was an amazing mother. She loved me, and that is what I hadn't felt in a long time.
Okay. Number five, if I were to play Holla Holla if you know me out, Tamisha Iman, what would be the first thing to come to your mind?
Um, Grateful because that song helped put me on the map, and it was created by a DJ named Mama Do out of Jacksonville, Florida. I took her bits and pieces of what I wanted. I gave her, it's like I gave her a laundry bag of stuff and said, "Hey, I want all this in the song,"
Mhm.
and she went in and made it happen. And that was the first time I think I've had somebody really, really on my side that wanted to see
Mm,
me succeed and wanted to see me win at whatever cost. And all she did was gave me her best, and it helped elevate. It helped the world to know who Tamisha Iman is. I'm so grateful for Mama Do.
okay.
So grateful.
Number 6, everybody's granddaddy, may he rest in peace, Joe Jackson. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
That's my father. That's my father. Appreciative. I'm appreciative. Joe gave me a lot. Joe was a lot to deal with, but Joe gave me a lot.
Mhm.
Joe loved on me. Joe took me from the fact that Joe ran my uncle now. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
I stayed in Cooper Green, he stayed in Mississippi. So
right,
when I did come out in Atlanta, we didn't know that until we were having a conversation and connecting the dots, who he ran with and where I live. He's always been like, his thing was, I got to be your father. I got to make sure
right.
you are all right because you from
Where I'm
our
from.
hometown. You know what I'm saying? So he did. He looked
Okay.
after me. He did.
Number 7, when you think of your Miss US of A reign, what is
Uh,
the first thing that comes to your mind?
Glad it was over. Glad it was over.
We, we gonna leave it there.
I'm gonna take it wherever you want to take it. You know, I ain't never scared.
Take it then.
Um, so the thing with Jerry Bird was an amazing person. Do not get me wrong. He was
Right.
phenomenal to those that he cared for. Um, Jerry made Jerry made me come back to US of a couple of times. One time I won on paper. He knew I won on paper. He came and he told me years later that I won on paper. But the thing about Jerry is, prior to you winning the pageant, his name was Mr. Bird. When you win the title, you become his daughter. So
Mhm.
after I won the pageant, keep in mind for like 5, 6 years, you was Mr. Bird. And so we're in the room. He's giving me my money. I'm signing the contract. He said, "Well, girl," no, he said, um, "Well, gal, I guess you my daughter now." I said, "Oh, no, no, no. You've always been Mr. Bird. That you
Mhm.
shall remain." And he was offended. He was like, "So you're not gonna be one of my well, baby? Listen, I went under your daughter when I was paying them entry fees and those dancer fees, them hotel fees. So no, thank you. I'm good, Tamisha.
Mhm.
That's just me. Sorry."
Right. Right.
But I'm glad
Okay.
it was over. It was an amazing rain. Don't get me wrong. It was
Mhm.
an amazing rain. I had a little bump, a couple of bumps in the road, just with promoters or whatever. If you're not their favorite, they treat
Mhm.
you a certain type of. I'm not gonna be disrespected.
Right.
That's
Right.
happening. So
I
other
was.
than that,
Other than that, it was good.
it was good. It was. I
Okay.
love people. I love raining and I love interacting with the people. I
Mhm.
love people,
Mhm.
but the business aspect is. I'm good.
Okay. That's when I was first introduced to you when you were Miss US of A. So I saw you.
Oh,
I saw you perform. Um, Shake Your Tambourine. You had Malaysian them in the background dancing. It was at 708
what's that
one
at
night. Yeah,
708? Oh, it
yeah, it
was.
was.
It started
Yeah,
at 708.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did that at 708, and so that's when I first knew who you were. Um,
Oh,
Number 8, Birmingham, Alabama. First thing that comes to your mind.
home, home. I go to Birmingham and I don't do anything but sit around and be able to interact with my family.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, briefly talk about. They know about Tamisha, right? Your mom and all them.
Yeah, yeah. She in
Okay.
the room.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, mom.
All right.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Number 9, when you think of dance, because you are a phenomenal dancer and entertainer, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
What do you mean by the first thing? What do you mean? Because
Do you think
dance.
peace? Do you think it's a way an escape? What do you think of when
Well,
you think of when you
okay, I get it now. So it was peace. It was peace. It was amazing to get out there and take some of your frustration that you have for certain people that couldn't do what you could do, and you could. This was the one time you had to as the kids would say back in the day, sock it to them
Mhm.
because you take that people will talk about you like a dog, but you take that stage, and a great individual that does it now, Kennedy Davenport. When Kennedy
Love
takes that stage, I don't know what be going on in her head. I know she loves entertaining, but at the same time, each time she takes that stage, she seems like she has something to prove. Maybe it's to herself, maybe it's for the audience, but for me, I've always felt when I had to take that stage, I got something to prove.
Gotcha.
Y'all may not like me, but you're gonna respect me from this point on.
Okay. And last, number 10, when you think of winning Miss Nationals, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Evolution, because it changed my life. It changed
Talk
my
about
life.
that. Let's dig into that. It changed your life. What
It
happened?
changed my life to finally see a promoter that was not afraid to let the cards fall as they may. I say that to say I did the last prelim. Go ahead.
No,
You
no,
want
no, no.
to
I know I was positioning myself because
So
I
I
know you
did the
said
last
you did.
prelim, and it was in Birmingham, Alabama,
Mm.
at Club 21. And
Yeah.
baby, they left me standing. I think, oh, I can't. Is it Jessica Southern? I can't. Is that her name? I can't
Yeah, that's
remember
her
if it was
name.
Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica Southern.
So
Uh-huh.
Jessica
That's her.
Southern won. Mocha got first. They left me standing. Keep in mind, no disrespect, Mocha, love you to death, and Jessica, I told them up. But those are hometown girls. You get what I'm saying at that time. So it's easier to work the person you don't know. Nevertheless, Kevin Scott just so happened to be in the audience. So it was me, um, my grandchild Angelica Sanchez, and my other child Tamisha Iman. They were my backup dancers. Maybe we just grabbed our things and we're walking out the door. Because to me, national was everything. I was able to sit and watch Tandy, um, Tommy. I was a Tasha. I was able to sit and witness it because it was in Atlanta. So it was everything to me. It was the most professional pageant I had seen in a long time. I had seen. A Continental was Continental, but I had a chance on winning national.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to see me leaving, I didn't know who this man was. He was just clowning. And this is some BS. And this is just going off. And I'm walking past it, me being who I am. I'm like, hey, it's okay. I'm all right. He was like, no, they did this, they did that. He was like, do you still want to go to national? And I was like, well, this was the last prelim, so I'm not gonna be able to go now. And he was like, I asked you, do you want to still go to national? I was like, well, yeah, if it's a possibility. He said, my name is Kevin Scott. So he's going off. My name is Kevin Scott, and I'm the owner of national. Tasha Long, do you know her? And he was like, Tasha, like, yeah, I know Tamisha. It's like, get her information. All I need you to do is just take care of your hotel room. You got to worry about entry fee. You coming. You coming. So
Okay.
this is some BS. So me, Piggy, and Treasure, keep in mind, national was one of my dreams. We sitting. We traveling in a U-Haul from Jacksonville. I'm gonna leave it at that. So
Right.
we're sitting in the parking lot. Maybe we sat in the parking lot 3 hours just crying because it no one had ever done that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, this man is really giving you a shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take full advantage of it. Go back, immediately start putting everything together. Get to Miss National, stuff started falling apart, but at the end of the day, I just remember the videotape. I got to keep going because everything is being recorded.
Right.
At the end of the night, when I'm standing there with Electra and we're holding hands, an incident had happened prior. When she came into the to rehearsal, Mocha and a lot of the other girls were saying, well, there your winner go right there when she walked in. And Paula and them was like, yep, there she go. And I'm looking around at them, I'm like, well, she's gonna have to show me because I don't know her. And that was just my mindset.
Right.
And when it got to the crown and her and I was standing there, I was like, well, like I said, she was about to show me.
Right.
And I kept saying, if they call her name first, I won. If they call my name, she, because it was new to me.
Right.
Maybe they call her name as first run up, and it changed my life. It
Wow.
changed my life. So
Now, when you first started the story on Miss Nationals, you made a comment that said it was the first time that you felt a promoter let the cards be what they were.
oh, baby, y'all, pageantry cheats. That's why you got me on here. You want me to talk about all the cheating and stuff that go on. I got it. So at
We
the
want
end
to
of the
talk
day,
to the
I'm trying to,
icon.
baby, I don't hold my tongue. Pageantry is pageantry, and it is what it is. But Miss National, for that man to not know me from anyone, to allow those scores to fall however they may, that was amazing to me. And
Gotcha.
it did a lot for me, and it did a lot for the system. He could have easily crowned Electra. She, it was her and I right there. She was a well-known national title holder at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he could have easily crowned her. But to me, it let me know that pageantry could really be fair if given
Okay.
an opportunity.
Opportunity. So when you reigned as Miss National, you gave it up. What was the trajectory of your career then? Did you feel like you were having to fight to continue to be Tamisha, or was it easier for you now because you were Miss Nationals?
Oh, it was never easy, baby. It was. Let me
Let's talk
explain
about
something to
that.
you. As a boy, it's never easy.
Okay.
As a girl, it's easier. It ain't easy still, but it's easier. You know what I'm saying? But as
Hmm.
a boy back then, it's never easy. I've
Okay.
always had to fight. I've
Okay.
always had to be better than the average person.
Hmm. And so where do you stand with that now? Do you just feel like that's what it was, or do you somewhat have you know, a little tick about that?
Well, I still think it's like that.
Okay.
I still think it's like that. It
Okay.
hasn't gotten easier for boys,
Okay.
um, and it's not going to get easier for boys.
So tell us,
It's
let's unpack that. Why do you feel
okay.
it's not going to get easier for boys?
The thing about it is we are female impersonators.
Hmm?
I look at drag queen. Drag queen. I'm gonna say this. Drag queen is for RuPaul Drag Race.
Okay.
But in my authentic career, I was a female impersonator,
Gotcha.
and majority of the trans women have started out as female impersonators. You get what I'm saying? That evolved. So that's just when the playing field leveled up to that, it is what it is. The playing field has changed, and a lot of people don't mind conforming to what is acceptable out there. And there are a lot of us that still, feel like I can do it my way and still be successful.
Gotcha. And do you feel like that was the case with you? M-
Meaning,
I
what do you
can do
mean?
it my way and still be successful, or do you
I
feel
did
like
it
if you
my
would?
way. Baby, let me explain something to you. The only thing that stopped Tamisha Iman path in life has been my mouth
Okay.
and my confidence and to knowing my ability and to know who I am and whose I am.
Hmm.
I'm never going to say I'm MBU or USA. I don't belong to them people. I belong to God.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just that's just part of my journey.
Hmm.
That's just
Your mouth. So
my mouth.
if you would have controlled or confirmed or closed, what do you think would have happened then? Do you think you would have gotten other things? What could have been the trajectory of your career you feel if you would have conformed your mouth?
Um, possibly could have possibly could have elevated more. Um, I could have, but
But to what heights though, Tamisha? Because I mean, you you did it all, you've won it all, you've been on national television, you've well traveled, you have this legacy. So what else do you feel like you could have gotten or been?
um, pageant wise, I could have won a lot more pageants. Let me say that.
Okay.
Other than that, it wouldn't have really changed nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a I'm a, I'm a pageant person. That has been my survival,
Okay.
which became my life. You get what I'm
Gotcha.
saying?
Right.
So I'm not thinking I'm not doing all that for excuse me, I'm not doing all that for a couple of $1,000. I'm not doing that. You can't buy me for that.
Right. Let's talk about NBA. One would think clearly you would be a former Miss NBA by now.
I am.
Tell us why you are.
Well, in 1992,
I was in elementary school. What happened in
okay, so let me say
1992,
this.
Tamisha?
It was 1992. I had to do my research. It was 1992. So this is the thing. No disrespect to anybody that we're about to discuss. Because a lot of people always get offended when I go to speaking my truth. My truth is my
Your
truth.
experience, your truth. Gotcha.
Um, so NBA, I watched Tasha win. I was, I think it was at Lipsticks or something when she won. But anyway, I was there the night Tasha won. It was so motivating because keep in mind, I don't even, yeah, I was a newcomer then. And that was my first national pageant, Black America in 2092.
92.
Um, so I had a lot of respect for Tasha. Then Alexis Bonet won.
Mhm.
Then Terry Livingston, the original owner of Black America, passed away. God rest her
Okay.
soul. Um, and so I decided to do it the next year. Alexis took over the pageant. Well, when Alexis took over the pageant, keep in mind, do this story the correct way. We, I was never in the clique, but there was an Atlanta clique that
Mhm.
involved my ex with the Black America. Everybody, it was one thing, everybody that was
Mhm.
Black America that was affiliated with Black America. It was a clique. I was in
Right.
the clique. Um, so when I talked to my ex and we decided I was going to do the pageant, keep in mind we didn't stunt. We worked
Mhm.
like just that was our thing. We worked and we got it. And,
Right.
we made it
Gotcha.
happen. So it was we ain't got to address that, but stunning was popular back then.
Right.
Unfortunately, it
Right.
was not to be
Right.
for me and my ex. So we were
Right.
working, and we got everything we needed to do the pageant. Get to the pageant. Um, so Cezanne was in the pageant. Before I say anything, this is no disrespect to Cezanne. A lot of when I've told this story in the past, people thought that I was disrespecting Cezanne. Cezanne didn't
Mhm.
crown herself. You get what I'm saying? So she
Yeah.
was a contestant like I was. Unfortunately, at the end of the night, Cezanne was crowned the winner. Alexis threw the score sheets in the trash, and she made it an executive decision to crown Cezanne. But on the score sheets that Flame Monroe found in the trash and gave them to my ex, it was a click. Now remember, it was a click. I won the pageant. Now, being that I'm not in the click, but my ex is in the click, he didn't understand how you pulled that on me because I'm not in the clique, but he's in the clique. But at the end of the day, we're in the clique. So why would you do that to him? Long story short, they broke even. They gave me the $1,000 they gave Cezanne. No disrespect to Cezanne. Cezanne did not crown herself. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Cezanne. Still to this day, like we're really cool. So it's no shade. But those are the powers that be at that time. I won Black America. They crowned Cezanne. The fallout was I don't care if I'm dead and gone. Don't ever crown that bitch. Me and Racine Scott. Those were the words that were said. So, uh,
But did you know why? Is there a particular reason?
well, the reason was the fact Cezanne was a national title holder, and at
Okay.
that time, Cezanne being a very diverse entertainer on the black side as the white side, it was going to elevate the imagery of Black America. And it was the conversation, Crown Cezanne is going to get notoriety. But it was no disrespect to her. She entered the pageant just like I did. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just how the cards fell. And it didn't bother me at the time because I didn't know the level of prestige it was. I was just doing a pageant against the big girls. It was just fun. But to my ex, oh,
It was
baby,
big. It was
it was
something
big.
big.
It was very disrespectful to him because he was in the clique, you know.
Right. Now, after that, how long did it take you to return to Black America? Because I know you did it since then.
Girl, I did it a couple of times. I think me and my ex fell out about it because I did it 2 years later, probably.
Okay.
Because the thing
Okay.
about me is, you're gonna tell me when I can't win. One thing about me, I know my ability. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it's ever fair, it's going my way. Sorry,
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay. Okay.
confident in it. Not to say every pageant I did I should have won. I'm not saying that,
Mhm.
but um, majority of the pageants, if I'm in it and I'm focused, it's night night.
Okay, so with that being said, and we know that you're in a better place, and you've said that, and we'll talk about that. Would you ever return and come back?
Oh no, I'm good, boo. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, I
And,
can
and the reason why, let me explain to you why.
tell us.
So I got a phone call the year Raquel won. Now Kel is on here, no disrespect to Kel. The year before Kel won, I think Tanisha Cassidy won and Kel was
Yeah,
first run up. Well,
correct.
one thing about me, I'm gonna always lay it on the table. So Benny called me and he was like, "Hey, we were having a conversation, and I really don't want Raquel to win. And they said the only person that can stop Raquel is you. Now, if you come to the pageant, I'll make sure, you whatever. That I'm like, what you mean, whatever? We'll make sure you win. That pissed me off because I've never been given a pageant. And I
Mm.
told him then, and see, I told him on that phone, I said, well, hold on, baby. You don't have to rig no pageant for me. I've never cared for that. I said, I can win on my own merit.
Mhm.
And that offended him because I put it out there and it's like, some people you can tell that to and they're gonna stay a secret. I'm just like everybody else. We all playing, I wouldn't want to do that to Kale. If she won, crown her, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Long story short, Kale did the pageant, Kale won, I got first one up. I was cool.
Oh,
I was
okay.
cool. But it was kind of a slap in my face because like, oh, so you don't want us to cry. And Kale had a lot of people on her side. She had Tommy on her side. It's like y'all can't do this to her again because I think he was gonna try to do it anyway. Um, but they kind of, oh, I ain't never told you that, Kale. I'm sorry, girl, my bad. But yeah, that was the that was the conversation. And a lot of stuff I didn't I never really put it out there because if you were close to me, you knew. But I
Mhm.
just didn't want to be in the mess. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So
That's definitely understandable. But I have to commend you on your integrity. I mean, that was definitely something that a lot of times, and we'll get to that because I know I saw your video a couple of weeks ago. We'll get to that in a minute. So, so what I want everyone to do is we're an hour in. If you're just not tuning in, share Tamisha's story. She let us know that she deserves that title of an icon. It's definitely, definitely, definitely something that we all can agree with. So,
oh,
Tamisha, can we talk? Can we talk?
let's go.
Can we
Let's go.
talk? Demi, in the words of our friend to the show, Baxter. Demi.
Uh-huh.
Now, let me preface this for you, and then I'm gonna give you all the time you need to talk about it. Since I've known you,
Mhm.
um, there has been a topic that you seem to be very passionate about. When it seems as though every time something bad happens, you pop up with this conversation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like every time something comes up over there, here you come. I want to know when you say, I created Black Universe, exactly what does that mean? And this is what I want to understand. Were you in the room when the conversation was being talked about? You know how like you can be someone be like, oh, that's gonna be sickening. Yes, la la. Were you thought to paper, to pen, writing things down? Was it something that you were actually in the works of doing and you were ostracized out? Because when you say I created and they made me compete, I can't ever imagine anybody making you do anything. So, to me and the 115 people, clarify that day or that era of you creating NBU and then it being snatched from you or you being ostracized out of the ownership to having to compete.
Okay. So, it ties hand in hand with Black America.
Okay, go ahead.
The situation that happened in '92 when Alexis Bodine told the powers that be to never crown me, and it got back to me.
Mhm.
Um, it was a breakup between me and my ex.
Mm.
Um, right after that. It was just a lot because him and I was going back and forth. That's just how it was. But anyway, um, so that hurt me because Black America at the time was the iconic pageant for the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was cheated out of being Black America and then being disrespected, told I would never win, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, I don't care, whatever, she would never win. It hurt me. But the thing about me, I'm a Libra. Let me say that. The one thing about Libra, our defense mechanism is to one up you.
Mm-hmm.
So after that happened, I was staying with my Joe Jackson. Um, I got to thinking, since I can't never go back to Black America, I'm gonna create something bigger and better. So keep in mind, Black America presentation was black. I made MBU presentation white. Black America sportswear was traditional. I made MBU high fashion. Evening gown was fabric. I made MBU stones. Talent saying, the basic. But I made the score system 1 to 10. And what happened is I did put it on paper.
Okay.
At the time, like I said, me and my ex, we were on a breakup. I'm still performing from Joe, I'm staying with Joe, whatever. This is a guy come in town, his name is Randy. He's a stunt queen. I don't know him, but he took an interest in me because he liked the transition. He liked Tamisha on stage and he liked Mr. Crawford off. So he was really adamant about pursuing me. Like, really. But we started having conversation. We were cool. At the end of the day, I was done with my ex because it was just, that's what it was. So I had no intention on going back to him. But at the same time, you young, you dumb, you have those breakups, you get back together, whatever the case may be. So once I actually put MBU on paper, I'm sorry, MBU on paper, I didn't have me as the queen. I had Tommy Ross as the queen and I had Joe Jackson as the king because at that time they were the two most popular black entertainers in the country, in our country, Joe Jackson and Tommy Ross. I just wanted to be the director. I just wanted to make sure it went off without a hitch. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure it was fair. And when I met Randy, him and I was talking about it, and Randy had money. Randy was Randy was like, I wanna do a pageant. And I was like, what? It was just weird how it just came out of the blue of our many conversations. He's like, oh, yeah, I want to put on a pageant, but I want you to be the queen. I said, I got a pageant. And that's how it came about. I put it in Randy's hand. And him and I was conversing on. He was like, well, I don't want you down here as the director. I want you as the queen. I was like, I want to be queen. I want to make sure it's right. Right. He didn't understand. I had just been worked in this pageant, Black America. So I feel like if the people that was running it better was fair, it would have just felt how it felt. So I wanted to be in that role. So him and I went and made him a copy and gave Randy the copy and I had a copy. We were conversing about it, this, that, and the third. The one thing Tamisha has never done is I don't go and hang out at the club. If I'm not working there, or if I'm there, I'm in the dressing room. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I'm just not, I don't care for people like that. It messes with my anxiety. I don't really like large crowds like that. Randy, on the other hand, loved going to the club. So Randy went to the club. He was frequently in the club all the time. He's a stunt queen. He's gay. He's out there. He ran into my ex. And him and my ex became cool because, my ex is a very, very inquisitive person. He's gonna find out the tea, whatever. So he already knew Randy was at me, but you have to know the ex. He's very he gonna make friends. He's very that. Whatever
I
you got
love him
planned, I'm
though.
gonna
I
set it up.
love the eggs. I
Yeah,
love the eggs.
we gonna keep the eggs up. So so he befriended Randy, but keep in mind, Naisha. Let me say this about Naisha. Naisha has a beautiful personality and spirit. If you ever around her for a second, you always want to be around her. She's just very inviting. She's an individual that is just fun. You know what I'm saying? She's a fun person. So my ex was Naisha's child. And they just so happened to be Now, to keep in mind, if you know the click, you know how the click rolls. The click don't mind clicking up to get something accomplished. So, however, whatever, Randy befriended my ex and Naisha. So him and the ex, because I got this later, the ex having a conversation, and he was like, I hear you pursuing my ex. This is the ex telling Randy. He's like, yeah, me and such and such, we kicking or whatever. He's like, oh, well, don't get too attached because they ain't gonna work. We gonna be back together. He was like, what? He was like, y'all said y'all was through. I did say we were through, and I meant that. But the ex told him a different story to make him think that him and I was getting back together. So so Randy felt played, which I totally understand. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't from my end; it was from the ex. Lo and behold, next thing I know, Joe is bringing me a flyer, probably like a week, 2 weeks later, and it got Black Universe on it. It got all my stuff on it, and it got Naisha name on it. And he had just came from the club. And I was like, where you get this from? He's talking at the club. I'm doing this pageant, this, that, and the third. I said, I showed you this. It had your name on it. He didn't remember it, which was fine. You know what I'm saying? But I still had the paper. I said, I showed you. He was like, he couldn't figure it out how it happened, but he didn't care. He wanted to be whatever, whatever. I get in my car, I go to the club. Then I used to write down, it was Loretta's at the time. We go, hey, baby, we didn't fight, but I was like, Naisha and I had a pact. Naisha, when my grandmother left the scene, Naisha and I became the best of friends. We did. We did everything together. Me, her, Sean Black at that time. That's who it was. And then we used to always go to like Continentals or watch Continental videos. And the one thing that Naisha always wanted, she always wanted her own show. That's what she wanted. She wanted a baton. She wanted to be in charge of the girls. That was her thing. Me, after going to Continental, I wanted a pageant. So that's what I looked at. It's like, oh, I want a pageant. So I created the pageant. And with me creating the pageant, and her wanting the show, and it's like we talked about this. So why would you done befriended Randy, and I was confused. But what I never did, I think at the time I was young and I was dumb, so I didn't know she didn't know because I have to give her the benefit of the doubt. Her and I never showed them Black MBU. I never showed them MBU. I kept that to myself because I didn't know who I could trust anymore. And when it came to Randy, I felt we had a connection because this went on for a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? So we were cool. So I shared it with him, and then once again, I was betrayed. But I always fought at Naisha because you didn't want a pageant. We talked about a show. We had a pact. You were gonna get your show. I was gonna get my pageant.
Gotcha.
And that was our breakdown. So I can honestly say, here, I don't know if she rightfully knew that it was my pageant. She just know Randy brought it to her. But the thing about it is, I think the disheartening thing for me is, even though you didn't know it was mine, you knew me. And I don't lie. And I think that's what hurt me with them. I've never lied to y'all. Still to this day, I've never lied to y'all. I don't make up fake stories or anything like that. But they were young and they had their vision on what they wanted. And it excluded me. And that is when I knew these people are not my friends.
Pause right there. So when that happened to you, what is this when you, because remember you said earlier that you dealt with anger.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you dealt with how you reacted to things. Is that the beginning? Was this the beginning, or did this escalate that for you?
It escalated. It escalated because it was like
it was hurt that you didn't know how to process.
You didn't know how to process it, and everybody that I thought were my friends were not my friends.
Gotcha.
For real. They were each other's friends, but they weren't my friends.
Okay. So, fast forward, you're having to compete.
Oh, let me tell you the reason why I competed. Let me say that. Okay, well now, so I had a conversation with God. And the thing about it was, I knew these people weren't my friends. But I knew I had to put my name on this pageant for me. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I created it. I had to go back and show them I could win because I created it.
Right.
So I beat them at their own game, and I knew once I won, I was never gonna be bothering the people no more. But you can't erase that name that's on that wall of fame. You can never take
True.
that down. And it's a story that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless who's the owner, it's a story that's gonna always go with it. At the time, I thought I was crazy. Like, that you're gonna run for a pageant that you created, but I knew I was going to disconnect with it. So I wanted to actually rightfully put my name on the wall of fame. Now keep in mind, they were not crowning me. I just beat them at their own game. Atlanta Universe just so happened to be owned by Archie, which was one of the owners at that time, and they had found a way to work me the year Raquel won. They found a way to work me the year Nicole won, but Atlanta was the highest prelim. Like Jim used to have his quote unquote prelim that if you win the prelim you're gonna win. Atlanta was the prelim that if you win you're gonna win. So I won that prelim. And when they got to the pageant that night and they was getting ready to do whatever they normally do, I remember getting the word. I just said, "Wait a minute, y'all can't work her. She Miss Atlanta. That's my prelim. You can't do that. I beat you at your own game. I won. I can buy a grape, so I'll never have to come back. But it's no disrespect to anybody at like I don't have a problem with Archie. Um, as a business person and things that they've done for MBU. Let me be clear. Randy did an excellent job with it. He passed it on. They did an excellent job with it. My biggest takeaway from MBU is the fact that I created it. I love what it has done for the community because that's what I wanted it to do. I have so much respect for the individuals who have captured the titles because they're going to always be part of my legacy, even though they're not. You know what I'm saying? I always have respect for them. And even though I read MBU, I don't really have no problem with it because I ain't going back.
Well,
And what
well,
I'm reading for.
well. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
First question: is it everything that when you can go back to 1992 creating it? So we have that cleared
Uh-huh.
up. You clearly
Okay.
created it, pen to paper, this and that and the other. Okay, so we can
Mm-hmm.
move that on past that. 32 years later, is it everything that you thought it would be?
It is and it's not.
What is
It
the not?
is for the legacy. It is for the legacy that it has provided for the community, and it has allowed and afforded so many beautiful Black individuals to 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 be part of something great. It's still messy to this day,
How
and
so?
you can't fault nobody but the powers that be because they're the ones who still running the show.
So how can we change the mess?
Oh, baby, I ain't got to do with that. I'm going on. They ain't no longer my problem.
But I'm saying for you, someone that comes up after the pageant when the mess goes down, how do you foresee the mess being changed? What can be
But let
implemented?
me let me say
Do,
this.
do the powers need to be changed?
No, no, no. I don't think the powers need to be changed. The thing about it is people are gonna get offended when I say this. Black Universe is an easy fix, but the biggest problem with Black Universe is they don't want to hear what I got to say. Anything that come out of my mouth shake and rattle them like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's an easy fix. But the only way I would even attempt to try to, because they think I want to be a part. I never, where my camera? I never want to be part of NBU ever again. Let me just be clear on that. You know what I'm saying? Not has nothing to do with the fans. It has nothing to do with the sisterhood and the brotherhood. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not for me because of so much damage has been done. And I feel it's best to remove me completely out of the situation and to allow it to still be beautiful for the community like it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying?
So
I can
uh,
sacrifice that.
I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I receive it. However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a counterpart this. First of all, there has to be representation for the boy queens. When we were trying to get you on, when we were opulence, and when you posted that flyer, I don't know if you realized how many boy queens inbox me saying, "Thank you, finally. You have somebody that we can look up to, that we want to hear from, or whatever the situation is." So first of all, representation is necessary. You being that, it can't just be left to Antoinette and Akira. you were one of the first, or Naisha and Victoria, you're that. So let's start with that. So you will never return, is what you're saying.
No, no, I have no desire to ever. Okay, so this is the thing for me and my life and my peace moving forward. I don't care to enter no place that broke me down and tore me apart. The one thing the one thing about a Libra is you never let them heal. Once an individual have healed from that hurt and that pain, they have no desire to go back into those spaces. So I have no
So
desire to go back in that space.
so okay, all right. So Libra healed, you have no desire to go back into those spaces, but just hear me out. We
Okay,
will always talk about it when it come up, when some
it's
mess
my
come up.
shit. It's
Okay,
my
all right.
shit at the
Okay.
end of the day.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
going to speak on it. I just don't no
Okay.
longer want to be a part of it. If that makes any
Okay.
sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's not
Well,
always
it
negative. It's not always negative I'm speaking about. I give them their props when their props to do. You know.
right, right. So is there anything that can be done to usher you back in?
Oh
Not as the
no.
owner, not as the creator, just as a form of coming back. Is there anything that can be said, done, an apology, a position on the board?
Listen, let me explain something to you. Um, baby,
Okay.
if they haven't done it by far, and those people know me better than anybody because they knew me prior to my start in this. If they have not reached out or had a conversation, Archie still to this day is playing games, and he don't have to because Archie and I was closer than Naisha and I.
Right.
I know I have no desire
Okay.
to go be a part of that. You know, you made such a fuss because of my presence there,
Hmm.
year after year after year. The reason why you couldn't tell me what to do during my reign because this is my shit.
Gotcha.
I respect the
You know,
powers that be, but
I'm
nobody
gonna tell you a
runs
little
this.
secret. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. When I went down to the courthouse 4 years ago to get the NBA name, I looked
Uh
up the
huh.
NBA name, and your name was
Uh
on
huh.
there.
And technically, my name is on the NBA as well. That's why he moved it to Decatur and not Atlanta. I shut
I
it
said,
down
"Ooh,
in Atlanta.
I'm not gonna
But
touch." I said, "I'm not gonna touch that one, but baby, give me that one."
but
But no.
let me
Okay.
explain this though. Being that you touched that, it was never my intention to get paperwork on either one of them.
Hmm.
Um, but someone they had offended somebody, um, and they were getting ready to get paperwork on it. So I got paperwork on it
Yep.
because just to protect it.
Uh
And
huh.
then it became a scandal as though I was trying to take over. It was never to take over. It was I had it a year before I even came up. So it was never to take over. But I remember the conversation, and I'm going to share this. I remember the conversation very well when I brought it to Ron, Archie, and Craig's attention on the phone. And I told them what I had did. Craig instantly hung up the phone and left the conversation. And Archie did what Archie does. He went around the conversation, and Ron tried to as well. So they never heard the fact that I did that to protect y'all. It was just the fact that, oh, Tamisha did. Oh, she's trying to take over the badge. This, that, and the third. So Archie and them even went so far um into the information that you would have seen and clearly took my stuff out and put Archie and them name in it. I don't know how they did it. I could have pressed charges then, but it was never that serious because I
Okay.
didn't do it to take over. I did it to protect it so it can still exist.
Okay. So we got the clarity on all of that. So what do we, you, they, us do moving forward in that space?
What space? Be clear. Let's be clear.
What do we do moving forward as far as MBU and you? Do you never want to speak on it again? Do you never want to um you clearly said you don't want to return. How can we because Tamisha, if I'm being honest, can I just be honest with you? I don't want
You
you to
be
take it the
honest.
wrong
No,
way.
I'm
So
not.
when you bring it up,
Hmm?
it just seems like you're bitter about it, you're mad about it. And we know that you're in a better space. You tell us you're in a better space and you're healed and stuff like that. And it's not always brought up in a fun manner. Example, I can bring up my situation with NBA in a fun manner because I moved on, healed, we're all good, da 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 da. But it seems like you pop up when the shit go down. Oh, when the stuff go down. And then it's like, it's mine, and it's like, okay, here we
No,
go
no, no.
again.
No, no,
Okay.
no. That's a
Okay.
perception. No, no, no.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
do that. The thing about it is I popped up. Let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
I was very dormant at first, but I popped up because Naomi addressed my child. And when she addressed
Mm.
my child reached out to me.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
when I addressed the situation. I didn't.
Okay.
I don't just randomly speak on it. That's not the point. I'm not. I'm not going to say I was bitter. I was hurt. It's a
Okay. All right.
because
But
at
could
the
you
end of
have
the day,
could have been a situation where you could have singly addressed Naomi without putting the system, or you had to put hand in hand?
oh, it go hand in hand because the
Okay.
shadiness came from the system dealing with her. So why would I separate it? If the
Okay.
shade is within the system,
Okay.
I'm sorry, they go hand in hand. At the end of the
Okay.
day, I don't give Archie, and I always say Archie. I don't address anybody else because Archie to me is the owner. I don't care about other people. No disrespect to them. However y'all run y'all business, y'all business. But Archie has been there since the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
after Randy or whatever. So I always address Archie. Archie never ain't changing. They're not gonna
Okay.
change.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I speak on it. I think the thing that hurts me the most because it was never designed for malice. It was designed to be something great for the community. And do know it has become that. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, it hasn't elevated like it should. It still has the
So
potential to go.
so that's what I'm saying. When you had said that earlier, when you said it's the easy fix, what are some things that can be elevated? It's
Oh,
not
babe, I'm
about
not
what they
telling
want to
that.
hear. We want to hear it from you, the creator.
Oh no, no, no. See. Then that way, if I express what could be fixed, then that means I still want to be a part. I will have a conversation with the full court.
Okay.
And let me say
Okay.
this: when I say I have a conversation with the full court, I will have a conversation with the full court. That includes Naisha and Archie. They're part of the court, and we would say Terrell. He's part. I'm not having no conversation with Craig. Craig is not the court. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I would have a conversation with the court.
Mm-hmm.
My idea, what I know would fix it, not what I think,
Okay.
but what I know would fix it. But I
Okay.
know for a fact at this point in life, it won't be perceived well. So therefore, it's best that I just continue to do me and let them continue to do them. But I have
Okay.
the right to forever speak on it. For one, I'm a former. That's where they
Mm-hmm.
messed up. So as a
Mm-hmm.
former, I can always speak on it. And as you said, pen to paper, I can
Uh-huh.
always speak on it because
Okay.
it's always going to be part of my legacy. But I don't always want. I felt Universe did this year. It was so many of us y'all could have dethroned. And if oh yeah, we're going to this.
No, no,
There's
no,
so
no, no.
many
I'm
that y'all could have dethroned.
uh-huh.
And to hear just conversations about Naomi. Keep in mind, my situation with Naomi goes from something else. And I did have a problem with her. Don't get me wrong, but it was from years ago. After watching Naomi live with Braxton the other day, I felt bad because the person that I was into it with is not the same person that is today. Naomi's a very fragile person to this day. And I think Naomi did not understand the assignment. I'm going to say that. Universe is an assignment. You have to know the assignment. But the fall for me was no one took the time to teach her the assignment. It's too many kings and queens that know the formula that could have reached out to her and corrected that, even though she wasn't listening. Don't she listened to a few of them. Let me say, it was so many that could have reached out to her, and y'all allowed Stasha to get upset and get in her feelings and cast that other vote to dethrone her. I have a problem with that.
Oh
I
wow.
have a problem with that. When you
Do you
should
think
have
it could have
dethroned
been?
her, hmm?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When you should have dethroned her, I'm not gonna say dethroned. Let me make this correct. When you should have chastised her or had a conversation with her, y'all did. Y'all evaded that conversation that should have been had with Naomi a long time. And no, Naomi is a very unique individual. She's not like the rest of us. She doesn't approach pageantry like we approach it. After listening to her live with Braxton, she don't even view pageantry like we view it. We hold it to the highest esteem, and it's part of our legacy and reputation to intertwine with these individuals that have come before me. She didn't see it like that. She thought it's just a pageant. And no disrespect, it was to all of us. It's more than just a pageant. It is a legacy that
Yeah.
we want to uphold for the community. It's not just about self. We make a lot of sacrifices that's about the community, where she didn't get it and no one took the time to really walk her through it. Everybody just threw away. And
So do
I
you
felt
think,
bad for that.
as the creator, do you think that that was harsh? A dethronement was
I,
harsh.
let me tell you, it would have been hard for it would have been harsh for Tamisha because I can handle it. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying? Everybody can't handle that. She couldn't handle that. Even though
gotcha.
she was doing the things that she was doing, that broke her. Do I think that's fair? No. This is a loving industry that we're a part of. It's about joy and celebration. So to get to a point to where we're actually singling out individuals and condemning them because they're different, I have a problem with that. It's too
Gotcha.
many of us that have walked narrow paths of destruction to where y'all just didn't want to be bothered with. Nobody wanted to be bothered with it. It
Gotcha.
was too much for everybody.
Gotcha. Well, I think that you have thoroughly explained that, and how you stand. Of course, I will never tell anyone, let's just fix it and move along, because I don't believe in that myself. However, it is my desire for you, because I know you personally and I know that you are, uh, I don't like to use the word misunderstood, because I think people understand you very perfectly. I just think
And,
that they
and, and,
choose.
and, and, and let me say this before you go any further. I'm not misunderstood.
I
Nine
don't
times,
think you are.
9 times out of 10, when I walk in the room, I am the problem. So I'm not even going to shy away from that. I do admit I am the problem, and not in the sense of, not in the sense of starting the problem, but I'm
Mhm.
not the. If you want somebody to go along with the foolishness, I'm not the person.
Right. I I do hope, because like I said, I see the messages, I see the phone calls from the Tezes and the other males that are doing drag. It's like, yes, Tamisha, and they see that representation. So I don't know what could possibly happen if it's ever a desire for you and them to come together as one. You come back, I think that that would be awesome. But again, I would never tell anyone just fix it, because I myself understand those things. If I don't deal with you, I don't deal with you. But is there anything else you want to clear up as far as that topic? You want to stamp on, you want
Um,
to elaborate on?
well, let me say this. I
Okay.
have much hope for MBU. I do, um, because it's a part of my legacy twice. And I want to see them get it right. But I'm not. It's not the message. I'm not the messenger.
Mhm.
If
Okay.
that makes any sense.
You're right.
So I'm never gonna stop talking. But it, I don't really have anything to say. My baby done won. Several of my kids have won, and I encourage a lot more of my family to go and compete. If that is your desire,
Mhm.
know what you're getting yourself into, though. That's all I say. If you know what you're getting yourself into, you won't have any gripes of how the cards fall afterwards. That's all.
There's a
That's it.
boy queen. There's a boy queen watching you right now, and he feels as though he will never be NBU or never be NBA or couldn't possibly be Continental because he's a boy queen. You being in
Mhm.
those spaces, what would you tell him?
Change your mindset. You have to change your own mindset. You cannot let the powers that be dictate your success. If you are an entertainer, the one thing you got to do in entertainment, this go from Raquel, Trinity, um, Tasha Long, you have to change your mindset. You can never go into any competition already defeated. You can't.
Gotcha.
If it's fixed, you go into unrig it. You know, and depending on your endurance, if you have the endurance, Mocha said it best. You don't do it for them, you do it for you. You keep
Right.
going until sometimes you get blinded and what I won.
Right.
Really? You know what I'm saying? So
That's
you do it
true.
for you. Just build your endurance and know that this is it's not an easy cakewalk for some, especially if you're a boy. It's not going to be
Right.
an easy cakewalk.
Is Tamisha done competing?
No, I have one more in me. I have one more in me. And let me just say this, because I don't really, because I don't speak on certain things. Well, I ain't even gonna say that. That's wrong. I can't even speak on that. I can't even
Uh-oh.
speak on that.
It's
Oh, I
high
had
top
to.
secret.
Yeah, I had to let it go. Yeah, but I have one more in me.
Oh,
I feel like my contribution could be a different in a different form now.
what is
You
that?
know what is that?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the end. Just come
Okay.
back to it.
All
I'll
right.
talk about
All
it at
right.
the end.
So let's shift gears.
Let's go.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, girl.
You were you were on RuPaul's Drag Race. We saw you on the screens. We was like, we know her. We know her. How are you with that space and in that entity of your life, that journey? Tell us about that.
That journey was amazing. Let me say this first and foremost. And I just saw Trinity on here. Let me tell you how I got to RuPaul Drag Race. There was a pageant I won in New Orleans, right? I don't remember what it was, but anyway, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're getting ready to start this pageant back up. We want you to come and be a part again." And I was like, "Okay." They were like, "Now don't hit me in the head. What you gonna charge me? This, that, and the third?" I was like, "Well, the standard, whatever, whatever." And we had agreed, and everything went fine. And then they said, "Hey, do you know how to get in touch with Trinity?" I said, "Trinity who?" I said, "Trinity K. Bonet. She a foreman as well. We trying to get her back." I said, "Oh, okay. I know how to get in touch with her, baby. She got that RuPaul Drag Race at the end of her title, so that fee ain't the same." They told me, "Okay, no problem." I said, "What?" They said, "Okay, no problem. Now you just negotiated my fee to make sure I didn't hit you in the head. If you willing to pay her fee because she got Drag Race attached to it," I told him I'm not coming. He told me some what, and I gave him printed information. I'm not coming. Keep in mind, I had supposed to been doing drag race on several times, like several occasions. I would get to the point to where I was supposed to hit the button to send in the stuff, and then stuff would come up, and I knew I couldn't commit at that time. So when I after that situation, I was like, "Oh, babe, I'm finna hit this because y'all have just erased who we were and our accomplishment for drag race. So I need to be a part of this." So I did. The first year I was supposed to go, that's when I was diagnosed with the cancer, and I
Right.
always call it the cancer because it's not attached to me. I was
Right.
diagnosed with that, and I couldn't go. And that was season 12. Well, they called me back for season 13. The thing about season 12 is when the producers were calling me, they let me know that RuPaul had handpicked me. And I know for a fact they
Mm.
don't do that for everybody. Um,
Mm.
but it was the fact that I was a polished pageant girl, and they were looking for a polished pageant girl that year. 12. Polished black pageant girl. That's what they were looking for. So
Gotcha.
leading up to all this information, I knew that. Then the day I had to call them and let them know I couldn't come. The week I was supposed to leave was the week I was supposed to start chemo and radiation, so I couldn't go. Um, Fast forward 6 months after that, a producer hit me up. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm doing." He was like, "Just wonder how you doing. Have you sent in your tape for the next season?" I was like, "Babe, I'm laying in this bed. I can't even get out this bed." He told me, "What?" He's like, "But you still can send your thing in because you still got time, whatever." He put it in my head. I filled it out. I went. What I did not know is that it's a scripted event. And even though I possibly could have been in the top that first year that I couldn't go, I wasn't written into this next script. I was just a plus one. You know what I'm saying? And the plus one got in and started shaking stuff up. So the plus one had to go. Um,
Hmm.
RuPaul Drag Race experience overall was amazing. Don't
Okay.
don't it, I'm not going to shit on it. It was amazing.
Hmm.
Um, it was a lot of disrespect there. And after meeting RuPaul, from meeting her, I'm not gonna say meeting her, from knowing her from the community.
Hmm.
I had much respect because to me, she made it. She was from
Hmm.
Atlanta. She made it from our community. You know what I'm saying? But to get there and to meet her, I'm good. I was good after that. Her and I had it was not spoken, but we knew for a fact She was my cup of tea, and I wasn't her cup of tea. And we just 10 years apart. Drag Race is designed for younger entertainers that they can mold and shape. I was a seasoned entertainer that was not playing the game. It'd be different if I played the game. I'm not a game player. Like they used to,
Gotcha.
we've been in the dressing room and they was I'm naturally confrontational to certain individuals. So you up under this curtain, I mean this clothing rack comes and hey, tell so and so this. And I would look at him like, I'm not saying that. I'm not no child. You even to boost me up to get into no fight with nobody. That's crazy. Um, the biggest downfall for that was after the show, the producers reached out to you and they was like, everybody after the show, we try to see what we can help you with, moving forward. What are your what are your dreams and aspirations? What do you want to do? And I said, I want to start my own network. They said, huh? With huh? I want to start my own network. I said, what you mean? I said, I'm from a community that does not get the recognition it deserves. So I want to start my own network to highlight my community. And they instantly saw competition. So they were done with me then. It was never you banned or anything like that. It was never that. It was a great experience. I do not want to mess it up for anybody else. It's something that everybody should be a part of. It elevates your pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So my pay grade is totally different now. If I do a booking, which I don't anymore, but it's a higher rate. For those that are comfortable playing the game, it's fine. But for an older seasoned individual like myself who was successful prior to Drag Race, it does nothing.
You get an email in the morning asking you to come to All Stars. Yes or no?
I'm probably not gonna get the email. I block everybody. RuPaul block, baby, I block everybody. I don't, and I block people so when I see you, I can still say, "Hey, how you doing?" Once you brought me the wrong way, I don't want no affiliation with you. So I have no desire to go back.
Okay.
I saw this video recently that somebody said I was banned, and I
Mm.
was like, "Oh well, okay. You can't ban nobody that ain't going back, but all right, I'll take that. I'm fine with it. It's not for
Gotcha.
me."
Any desires to return to Continental, Sweetheart, any of those systems? Or was that the one you were talking about?
No. Um,
Okay. Okay.
no,
No.
I have no desire. The thing, the thing with Sweetheart is, mm, trying to be trying to be a better person. The thing with Sweetheart is, I love Candy. I'm the reason why they call it Candyland Production because I always try to put a spin on stuff to make it better. Like when Candy was first doing this, it was just Candy Production. I made it Candyland. My
You did a
biggest
lot of
problem with
you did a lot of creating and stuff for people's pageants. Now, where's your
that's
check?
just me. That's baby. Listen, I love the community. I think I really people don't understand. Like this is an amazing community if given the
Right.
opportunity. You know,
Right. Go ahead.
my biggest problem with Sweetheart is Tamara. It's Tamara. It's Tamara. And Jill ain't too far behind. So we can change the subject if you like.
Yes, we can.
All
So,
right.
tell us about a newcomer. You wanted to talk to the newcomers on your show. Remember when you did the video prior to a couple of weeks ago? You said you want to
Yeah.
address the newcomers on how to move forward in this industry. Let's change the subject to something positive. Go ahead.
Okay. So the thing with the newcomers is know what you're getting yourself into. You have to know what you're getting yourself into and know how much of yourself you want to give away to people that don't have a heaven or hell to put you in.
Mm.
Because this too shall pass. And where will you be, you know, once it has passed? So I don't want to discourage newcomers because I think I was a newcomer. And all of us were newcomers at some point. And it always depends on the guidance that you are provided as a newcomer. I just tell all newcomers to know who you are, stay true to yourself, and don't give everything to people that you don't know. Like a lot of these people that be behind these pageants, they're not legit. They're not upstanding. They're not with a silver spoon. They don't have any room to judge you. But yet and still we give them so much um, grace and power over us.
Mhm.
Limit that. Take that back.
Why do
You
you
know,
think that is so? Why do you think we revere these systems and wanting to put the power into the owners and be in their good graces? What do you think that? Where do you think that comes from?
wanting to be a part. A lot of times
Validation.
our path in life is different. And to finally
Mhm.
be I say this, gay people are some of the strongest individuals out there because if you grew up gay, you grew up with challenges, or some people are afforded to have a family that accepted it. But 9 times out of 10, if you're black, you grew up with challenges. So when you get to a point to where you feel accepted by a community of your peers, you sometimes
Mhm.
loses yourself.
Right.
Like, you know, so it's okay. Always get you a support system that I love Memphis now. Memphis has an amazing support system. It has always had a turnover of amazing support systems of people. You know what I'm saying? Get you an amazing support system, and you won't never lose yourself. When you try to walk this walk by yourself with no knowledge, it doesn't end well for you
Mhm.
because you wake up tomorrow as somebody who you don't even recognize.
How
Never lose
important is
yourself.
it to you to be self-sufficient in this
Oh, it's very
industry?
It is very important. I saw Vita post the other day talking about, how she respects the people that can do
Oh,
it
yeah.
all. It's very keep in mind when I was coming up, I couldn't afford those gowns if I didn't learn how to make it. Luckily, my mother used to sew back in the day, so I had some knowledge of sewing. And then
Mhm.
when my gay mother, her father was Edward, who actually sold for Pella Bell and Phyllis Hyman, and he, gave me more knowledge of sewing. So it helped. It actually helped me to achieve the greatness that I have because I was able to do it. But I didn't have a lot of money. Maybe I used to get in my car and hit it up and down that road. I did everything honestly, not all the time, but majority of I would say 98% of the time, I did it honestly.
You worked hard for it.
I worked hard for it.
When you look at things, because you're not always on social, you're not always present. You may look at things and you see the
Uh
things
huh.
that are happening in the community, where it's the drag, where it's the pageants. Do you think that it's dying? I know that's a huge question that we like to ask. Well, that we asked the guests
Woo!
before, but I'm gonna
Jeez.
ask you: do you think it's dying? Let's talk about that.
So I asked my kids. I've been asking everybody recently. I said, "Well, what's your concept of drag now? Is it dying, dead, or on life support?" And a lot of my kids was like, "I don't think it's dying. I do think it's on life support." One of my kids, who is a spectator of pageantry, was like, "I think it's fine." And I was like, "We flipped at the same time." I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, I just enjoy going to pageants. From a patron perspective, it may be fine, and that's what I was explaining to him. But from competitors' perspective, it's not fine. It's like you invest so much into this to get so little out of it.
Right.
It's not making sense. You know, even when you have become a former with those crowns, you can't take that to the pawn shop. You can't sell that off. That ain't really worth no money like that, like you thought. The bookings don't necessarily come unless you make an impact on the people during your reign. So
What pivot?
for me, I think. Let me say this. I think it's
Go
on
ahead.
life support because to go from a system that had 20 plus contestants to possibly 4 or 5 now, that's life support
Why do you think that is, Tamisha?
because they was cheating.
So you think they're still cheating?
Yeah, they still cheating. Baby, let me explain something to you. You have to be honest. The truth is the truth. If you ever let the cards fall like they may, people will probably return back to pageantry. But if you got to pick and choose who you want to wear your crown, just give them the crown. Don't let me go through all that. Because then I become confrontational because I'm running behind you. I'm 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 confrontational.
Our second interview was with Yasmin, and she made this statement. She said, "I never get upset when I have lost a pageant because I know there are plenty of pageants that they have given me." And so, yeah, she said, "There's plenty of pageants they've given me that I should not have won, and there's pageants that I know that they have been taken from me." So I think that what you're saying to this day is still relevant about the cheating. I would hope that we're being, fair, but I guess not. How can we stop the cheating, Tamisha? What needs to happen?
Oh, well, I'm glad that you
Do we
asked.
stop? Do we? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish your
No,
statement.
I was going to give it. I was going to give the options. Do you stop going? Do you hold them accountable? And I heard y'all used to wrestle back in the day. So
No, we
is
fought.
that
We
an
didn't wrestle. We fought,
is
and I
that
done
an
ran a couple
option?
of people
Like,
out the building.
from your lens, what do we need to do to make
Start
sure that it's
over.
fair?
Start over. The thing about it, I think a lot of systems have built reputation. I was reputation to where they want to be considered the it pageant,
Mm-hmm.
and to do that, it's about building an it factor court.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the people back at because now that 20 years ago, people were stunning. Like stun was the thing. How you did your pageant, whatever. You had people that was able to get funds easy so they can contribute. Nowadays, people working for this. I got to work for these stones. Maybe I got to go to Julian. You already know that's about $4,000 alone. You know what I'm saying? That's just Julian. And don't go over here, Miss Thane. They got to beat my dress because that's another fault. Oh, now I need dancers, child. They 100 and something dollars a piece. Then I gotta get them there. Gotta feed them. Gotta house them. Only to win what? $2,000 in one when you give it up.
Oh, that's how much they winning?
No,
Because
oh,
some is
oh,
not
oh.
even that.
That's what I'm saying. So it needs to be some soul searching within. It needs to be some soul searching within. Um,
Gotcha. When you say it's on life support, this is a question that we ask our icons on this show. Who
mhm.
are some of the up and coming or some of the entertainers that you see now that may be sitting in your position in 20 years that you feel like will have longevity, can keep it going, can keep it thriving?
Well, let me say this. I remember years ago when I started to see the consistency form with Giselle Barbie Royale. But
Mhm.
Giselle was a different brand because Giselle had the ability to sit and study our videos, or she was in the presence of a lot of us. Not to say me per se, I'm not saying me, but she did the proper research to be great.
Mhm.
Let me say that. She
Mhm.
did the proper research to be great. So I have to
Mhm.
acknowledge that for her. I told her years ago, and I think it's very important that people of a certain stature acknowledge the new generation and let them know that I see you. I see where you're going. Um, to whom much is given, much is expected in
Much-
return. So you have to do right. So she was one. This was before everything. This was before I saw it then, and I told her then. You know what I'm saying? And to
Right.
look at her now, it's just like it's
I
amazing.
told you
Now,
so. Mhm.
right now, I say this is I don't know a lot of the new individuals anymore. So I'm taking
Mhm.
upon myself to get back into the community and see what's out there, what has evolved, what is
Good.
up and coming. Um,
Good.
I, let me. Okay, for years, this has been a very hurtful career and community for me because it seems as if nothing I did was good enough.
Mm.
Or once the community had already put a stigma on me, people didn't see past that, which is okay because it would have probably hurt me if I didn't know who I was. I always knew who I was. I stand on that. Whether I'm in the spotlight or I'm in the what I stand on knowing who I am. The new generation not necessarily need guidance. This is the one thing I hate. I hate wasting my time to sit up and talk about Universe and Continental and all these other pages and all they, the things that they do that I don't approve of. Somebody's still gonna be going next year. That's listening to
Oh,
this live.
absolutely.
So why waste my time if you're not gonna change your mind? You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Go and accept whatever happens, and it is what it is. But for those
So,
that are wanting
yeah, I'm
more,
listening.
do your research. Do your research on these systems and see if it's going to be beneficial for you. Because this is my biggest problem with our community. Our community has been an underground dark market situation for years to where we don't even know we are celebrities within our own right. Because we still run around acting like the common next person. We never really see ourselves as a celebrity until we put somebody else's crown under our head. But what we fail to realize is they can't have no pageant without us. They can't have no shows without us. So, and it's always going to be a pick me out there when people try to stand up, against the status quo. I mean,
The
um,
powers that be.
the powers that be, right? They're always going to be a pick me. And the thing about it is, how do you fix that? So that's going to me moving into this next phase. For years I have been talking about what I feel like pageantry should be. I have been, you know, beating systems up that have been unfair to people. I have been standing up for people that we consider the voiceless, and I've done something um, that I never thought I would do. For years I've had great ideas, but baby, my pockets have been on empty for years, so it never manifested. But I want to say this right here. So I'm finally throwing my hat in the ring of owning my own pageant. It's a national. If you go to my website, you'll see it. I'll give you the website afterwards. But it's going to be held in Atlanta on January 10th through the 12th. Yeah, I'm
Of
starting my own.
2025.
Yes,
Oh,
the
okay.
prize package. The prize package that night. Let me explain this before I say this prize package that night. The prize package that night. I'm looking for a certain number of contestants. Okay, I'm looking for a certain number of contestants. If I get this number of contestants, the prize package that night is $5,000 to the winner, Mr. and Miss. And I'm doing a top five. See, I'm not going to be cheap and I'm not going to do a top three. I'm doing a top five. But the difference with my pageant is not about Tamisha and building a pageant. My pageant is about the community of entertainers. See, when I created Black Universe, it was a need for it. We needed something besides Black America that was just as prestigious. Now I'm doing this pageant for the community of entertainers. See, it's never been a pageant like this. So the
So tell
pageant.
us, can you tell us about it? Are
Oh,
you
I'm gonna tell
still
you about
in the
it. I'm
works?
gonna probably give you the name. I'm gonna give you the concept of the pageant. So the pageant entry fee is nothing. You pay a $40 registration fee. That's to enter the portal. So you enter a portal to where, and this is what a lot of promoters should have did, to where you can see who's interested in your pageant, and depending on the individuals, they can compete in the system. So being that we are tradition to do traditional categories like presentation, sportswear, um, formal wear, those are the categories for the first two nights. I'm not doing talent the first two nights. I'm not doing talent. It's just the clothing category. This is a fashion pageant. We're gonna elevate fashion. So it's just the basic categories for Friday and Saturday. I'm introducing new categories to the pageant industry, and the new categories is For sportswear, it's going to be Met Gala now because everybody likes the Met Gala. And you know what? Our traditional pageants, they limit what you can do. So that's the category. The next category is evening extravaganza. See, it's a lot of stuff that you can do with evening gowns.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's going that way. But the reason why I say this is a, a pageant for the entertainers is because you're able to get tips during the pageant. So even if you're not successful in winning the pageant, you still don't want to walk away broke.
Unless they don't like what you have on.
I can't control that. And the thing about it is, it's not a pageant to where you got to go get something made. I designed this pageant so a lot of people get sports wears and stuff that they don't only wear once or twice or whatever. You can't wear it no more. So
Right.
therefore, this is the perfect place to see if your stuff um, is up to par. Not just that. If you make it into the portal, I give you a list of judges. Y'all get to vote on the judges. So to be fair, um, and keep in mind, there's no tabulator. This is a digital pageant to where after the last contestant walk off the stage, we know instantly who's the winner because it's tabulated like that. That's why you have to enter the portal.
Oh,
But
this is very nice.
so it's a fashion pageant, no entry fee, presentation, um, sportswear, and formal wear evening gown the first 2 nights. Now, mind you, there are eliminations, so a number of the lower scores are eliminated the first night. But that's not a bad thing because you instantly perform after you are eliminated because it's a show afterwards. So you get to
Right.
make some of your money back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now that's it. You only can get tips in sportswear and evening and formal wear. Now, final night, you can get tipped in every category. But it's not people tipping you. It's not ghetto. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's a designated area for it, or you can tip them with a Q code. So they go
Okay.
directly to them. But
Okay.
I needed to create something for the contestants. I don't want to take away from your desire to be whatever you desire to be. I want to
Mhm.
now aid you into achieving those goals and giving you an ability to be a national title holder. Now the difference with my pageant is you only reign 6 months. You only reign in 6 months. Because it only takes 6 months to let people know if you're gonna be good or you're gonna be bad. And then that way you'll always have a home here, but you can go and still achieve
Else.
those goals and the people can see what you've done with that 6 months.
So y'all hear that? Make sure you reach out to Tamisha about this. This
Oh
is
no, you
something.
go to the
Tamisha,
website, you can see
Tamisha,
like this.
go. Tamisha, go to the courthouse in the morning, girl, because we don't need nobody watching this taking this for you again.
She already I don't
Okay,
play.
girl.
She,
Now
she
we ain't gonna
already.
do this again now.
Oh no, we're
30
not.
years from now.
No, 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 no. She is trust me, sound,
Okay.
sealed, and delivered.
Okay,
But yeah, I
good.
wanted to do something. My thing is, I think like for me, a lot of times, even though I'm not in the competing stage anymore, I still love pageantry, and I
And this is
only
your way of giving back. Your
this is
way
my
of
way of
giving.
giving back, and that's why I'm taking like I'm doing this whole new show to where I now take the role. You'll never see Tamisha at pageants or shows, but my first stop is New Orleans. I'm gonna be at New Orleans for both of them. I'm gonna be going live because I want the people to see. I have a community of new followers now. And I actually have to thank Drag Race for opening up the doors for my following now, and my supporters. And my true supporters know who I am. And they want to see this. And I want to always take the community to the next level. It's about taking it to the next level. No one out there does a pageant for the contestants. It's always for them.
And what they can gain back. Gotcha.
It's always what they can gain back.
Mhm.
How many pageants has it been where you don't pay no entry fee? How many pageants has it ever been where you can get tipped on stage while you're doing what you do? None.
Right.
And see, this is my way of I had to think about, and it kind of it's always been in the work, but universe really pushed me because to see so many hurt people that have put their all into trying to be victorious. Just think about it. If y'all brought that, and I'm not expecting y'all to bring it to me first year. Let me explain to you. I just wanted to get this first year off the ground. I picked a location in Atlanta that people normally go to. I tried to reach out and find a um, distinguished venue, big stage, or whatever. It was crazy at the last minute. Now,
Yeah.
if the people will follow me on this one and support this one, the next one that is in June will be on the proper stage. But I had to
Gotcha.
take a chance with this. Like I said, I've never been in the position to afford to be able to do what I wanted to do. I don't need a team. I can financially do whatever I want to do by myself,
All right.
and that's the blessing, you know. But it's not to control nobody. I think if the proper people, myself, really show people what creating a fraternity and sorority is amongst entertainers, it won't be so much back and forth because they can't have a pageant without us. So let this be the system where you come together and celebrate each other, make money, give a great show because that's why I created this network because I feel like our community is so underrated. They will pick and choose members of our community, but they still leave the community to suffer. When if it's done right and you highlight the community, it's a wrap. What you gonna say,
Pick
bro?
and choosing, and not to. I'm sorry. Were you finished with
Oh
your
no, no, you go ahead.
announcement?
You go.
Pick and choosing of the community. Clarify this for me. Were you a member of the Stars of the Century?
Yes, I was,
Okay.
but it
Um.
came afterwards. It came years later.
Okay. Did you feel like you were fighting there? It
No,
was
no, no.
harder
We
for
were
you.
fine. No, no,
Well,
no.
no, 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 not fighting them. Was it harder for you amongst all of those lovely ladies?
No,
Was
because
it harder for
Tamisha
you
was
as
one of them lovely
entertainers?
ladies. I was
Huh?
one of them lovely ladies. I was one of them lovely ladies. I'm at that time. I can only say I was the boy that could stand with them. Karen would tell
Okay.
you that.
Okay.
I stand
Okay.
with them. I was never.
Okay.
No, I'm in the book on the show. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Gotcha.
You get naked, I get naked. I ain't got no business, but you
Oh,
ain't either.
okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. We just wanted clarity for that. But we do wish you well with your pageant, Tamisha. Do you
Well,
have a
thanks.
name? Do you have a
I do
name?
have a name. It's Mr. and Miss IDT National. That's all you need to know
IDT.
right now.
And it's
IDT
gonna be
National.
on your network. I'm clearly you're gonna be having it streamed on your
Well, yeah,
network.
but so my website is I'm gonna post it. I post a video
Okay.
after we get off on the what you call. But yeah, like I said, it's nothing to knock any other system. It's my way of giving back to the entertainer. You know, giving them a safe place to be who they are, to where they don't have to live up to Tamisha's expectations. It's not about me. It's about you showing the community who you are without having to conform to being somebody else. It's a safe space for entertainers.
Right.
How long we been on this thing, girl?
Yeah. We 2 hours. I got a few more questions. 2 hours. We have been on
I'm
here 2 hours.
good.
You
I'm
have
good.
you talk. As we close it down, what are some things that you want? Anything that I did not ask or you thought I was gonna ask that you want to talk about?
No, Trinity, the thing that I have much respect about you is like, you know what to say. Y'all knew that this was going to be a controversial um, interview, which I don't think it was. I just
I
speak
don't
my
think it
truth.
was either.
You
I
know what I'm
think it
saying?
was very informative.
Yeah, I don't, I I trusted you. I don't trust many people anymore.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
that speaks volume for me. I don't know, you
Yeah.
know, I only watched a couple of the lives that you done the other day,
Uh-huh.
only because I've had time, not because
Right,
I've been
right.
busy like crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted
Yeah.
to see how you approach the situation. I've known you a long time, but we've
Hmm.
never had this type of conversation. And
Right.
like if it's anything anybody else wants to ask, I mean, if
Yeah.
you want to go there, that's fine. But I'm pleased with everything.
I do have some questions in the inbox.
Come on.
While I pull them up, Tamisha, tell us about a headliner of your own show in Vegas, right?
So okay, this is the thing. I was headlining a show on the script up until I think 2 weeks ago. So the
Uh-huh.
one thing about amazing shows here on the script, they will revamp the show to see if they can make it better. They decided to revamp the show. They took my part out. So I'm on hiatus for a few months to see if the revamping is going to work. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, I'm still working here in Vegas.
Mhm.
Our club that I was originally at, it closed down and it relocated. They're in the position of renovating the space. So I got downtime now. That's why I was like, you know
Okay.
what? Let me
Okay.
go
Gotcha.
ahead and, get out and do what I've
Get this
always
out.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
I came to Vegas to make money.
Mhm.
I came to Vegas to work. I wasn't working in Atlanta.
And it's so crazy that you. One of the questions that is Las Vegas going to be your forever home, or do you see yourself moving back to Atlanta or Jacksonville? I don't
Oh
know why
no.
they chose.
I love Vegas. I love the thing about it is I've always wanted to live in Vegas. I think as an entertainer of my capacity, Vegas is the place for me. Even if I'm not on the stage, there's so many different shows here. You constantly running into people, like-minded individuals that understand that we are entertainers, we are performers, we are actors, or whatever the case may be, and they on that same grind. It's not a dog eat dog world out here. It's about, okay, Miss Saying, I heard that so and so show is doing X Y Z. Check them out. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of lifestyle, and
Okay.
I love that here. I'm
Okay.
still who I am. I still don't go to the clubs. I still don't have a large group of people that I kick it with. If it's
Right.
not coworkers, that's it for me. But I
Okay.
still enjoy. I love Vegas.
Another question. This is interesting. As a boy queen, do you or did you find it hard to find love? Because that seems to be a topic that drag queen boys can't find people that love them because they do drag. Was that ever your truth, or do you still have
Well,
that issue?
well, no, 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 because I know how to separate the two.
Okay.
That's very important that you learn how to separate the two because everybody's not going to accept both. Some
Mhm.
people want one or the other. And the thing about it is, Tamisha is only a facade. So therefore, let's get that straight. I'm not. We can't even communicate as Tamisha, other than, "Hey, baby, how
Gotcha.
you doing? Thank you. Yes, you look good." You know what I'm saying? Those type of pleasantries. But as far as a romantic thing, no, I can't. I can't do that. My mind is
Okay.
not just like that.
Question: would you consider Queen of New Orleans, Louisiana, or in New Orleans, Louisiana?
I don't have a desire for pageantry anymore because I
Okay.
think the pool has been tainted. I would rather be where I'm at now as a pageant promoter, just basically looking out for the entertainers. That's my thing. Y'all can go and do all that. If that's what you desire to be, then go do it. But let me kind of show you how the ins and out of being national. You know what I'm saying? Let me kind of help you with knowledge. And my court, I have already ready to go court. My court
Oh.
is all national title holders, so therefore we can give you that if you need it. Hopefully, some people come that's already national, but if you need it, we can give you that nourishment or the knowledge you need to be successful in this industry.
I think you kind of almost you did touch on this. The question is, I've learned a lot from this conversation. You've been very transparent and open. Do you feel like that was always a hindrance for you in the cliques? I guess when you
Yeah,
talked about the cliques, you were never part of it. You being very transparent, open,
yeah.
was that a hindrance? Yeah, and
It
you
was
you
it was
touched on
always a hindrance because the thing about it is I'm not gonna keep your secret.
it.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm just built different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a good friend if I go along with your foolishness. Somebody got to be the
Mm,
adult in the room. You know,
gotcha. Um, tell her please come back to NBU. We need her. Uh,
Raquel, y'all need me at MBU.
she was back there. Never mind. So yeah. Um, what would your children, the Amon dynasty, say about you?
Now I think they're just proud of their mom because they understand that for a long time I was in a dark place and they didn't understand why, but they supported me anyway. And to actually understand why I'm better now. They may never understand it because I had to go through it, but they now know that I'm past it. God is amazing. To I don't know if anybody's ever been here. If you've ever been near death and to see how He has brought you from that, the things that were bigger than life before that are no longer bigger than life.
Mhm.
You know, the things that used to get under your skin and make you react no longer make you react. I don't look at stuff anymore as anything negative. I look at it as a distraction, or I look at it as elevation. When things come to me negatively, regardless of what it is, to me it's a form of elevation. I don't look at things as negative anymore. It's not a bad day, you know. It's just time to move to the next level.
What do you have to say, speaking of negativity, to the negative outpouring after every pageant?
Well, the thing about it is, for me, the entertainers have to separate themselves from the patrons or the supporters. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times, people hurt people, and that's always true. So, if you've heard an entertainer, they're gonna go to a place to where they feel supported, and that's not necessarily saying that's a good place. But the internet is always gonna be somebody to support you on the internet,
Mhm.
whether you're right or
Yeah.
wrong.
Right. Would you consider doing a one woman show tour?
I'm doing it. It's
She's
called
doing it.
it's called TRTV.
TRTV.
It's on my website too. I'm gonna give you all that when we in.
Okay. All right. What is your legacy?
My legacy is to have been one of the best that did not have to conform to be at the top. It's one of those I did it my way.
Mhm.
I sacrificed a lot and I lost a lot, but I did it my way. So regardless, at the end of the day, I don't have to stand there and say, "Thank you, Naisha. Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Jim." I don't have to say all that. You know what I say? Thank you, God. You allowed me to do it my way.
Right. You did it your way. You did it how you wanted to do it. But through all of that, do you think you would have done not any regrets, but do you
Uh-huh.
think you would have bypassed certain things, not done certain things, pivoted from certain things, or tried harder at certain things?
I think I would have had to do it the way I've done it, because had I did it any other way, I would have never gotten to the piece where I'm at now. I needed to go through it and do it the hard way, those trials and tribulations to get to where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't regret anything. You cannot regret what has already happened.
Mhm.
You can only try, and I mean try, to manage your path moving forward.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't dictate that, because you don't have no full control over it.
Right. You've hit on it throughout these last 2 hours and 15 minutes about how you have changed, you have grown, you are in a better space.
Mhm.
Anybody that may be watching that is maybe in a place that you were, they feel like the community has beat them up, they feel down, they feel like they can't make it, they feel like they're never going to be seen, heard, viewed. What advice would you give that or those people?
Sometimes you have to get out of your way. And when I say that, I say that meaning a lot of times we sit in SHIT until we no longer smell that it's SHIT. It's okay to pick up and move on and try other things and possibly come back to a place that you love. You can never become complacent, because the people that really grows in life, 9 times out of 10, are not no longer in their hometown. They may have returned back to their hometown, but you have to go and experience the world. And this is not your forever people. Like, because you're here, it's a whole world of people out there. You have to go find the people that you mesh with, that think like you.
Mhm.
You have to.
Mhm.
If you stay here, it's going to always consume you. You're going to always get what you got. Never be afraid to pick up and move forward and try it. If it don't work, you can always go back home. You know, but
Okay.
don't allow your current situation to determine your future.
Gotcha. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. When you called and I was like, oh girl, yes, hell yes. I think that you have thoroughly cleared up, gave nuggets, gave words, I didn't even know about Black America being black and all of that presentation. You have gave us a history lesson. You have gave us some tea, and it was all worth it. talking to you. I appreciate you for thinking of me to interview you. I appreciate you for trusting me with your story and these questions. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. I think you said it's going to be at Queen, right? You were going to be there at
Yeah,
New Orleans,
I'm
right?
going to be at Queens. I'm going to be at Queens first. Well, I'm going to Diamond South. I'm going to with this new show that I'm doing, it's putting Tamisha back in the community. A lot of people know of me, but a lot of people don't know me. And I want to travel different cities to highlight communities of celebrities because I look at all of us as being celebrities. We just not known. So I'm taking the
Right.
liberty of using my platform. My platform. I've been blessed and afforded an opportunity to meet so many people from different walks of life that are still supporting me now. So I want to bring my world of pageantry to them and all the good and positive things about it. That's why I'm going to Queen, and a lot of my family is going to be there. Then we're going to Atlanta. We're going to hit Atlanta for my pageant. And then I want the community to see. I don't want, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. Once everybody see how I'm moving, then if you would like me to come in your city and say, oh, hey, come check us out, highlight our show, highlight. I don't just want to see the city. I want to see the individuals of the city. I want to sit down and be able to talk to them and possibly find out, hey, they may need something that somebody else out there that could, afford them.
Right. Um, Before we leave, if you have not shared this live, share it to your page. So, because of course, this will stay up, so that you can go back and watch it and people can watch it. But before you give your website and Tamisha and your final uh, business ventures with TMI and all of that, give us one last word of encouragement, one last word of advice, or just love on us. Give us something that we can take with us throughout the rest of the night and the week for Thanksgiving.
Well, the thing about it is, first of all, just be thankful that we're all still here because so many of us did not make it. And my thing is, I haven't always been in a place to where I can see a better future. I'm blessed to be in that position now to where I can see a brighter future for our community. I see a brighter future for myself. Everybody's not against our community. Support the people that are for our community. The Darrenisha, the Tatiana Braxton, and so many other people that are pageant people but are evolving to still service our community. As entertainers, we're going to get older, and we may not always be able to take the stage like we used to. But if you truly love this community, you want to be able to still be able to serve in some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
Be grateful for
Okay.
what you have. Be grateful for the people that's loving on you. Take a time to look in the mirror and just love on yourself and be kind to others.
All right. The elevation of Tamisha. Drop that website, girl, so we can
Well, so
look you
what?
up.
Okay. So when we get off here, I'm gonna put the video up on the Tamisha Iman Network. If you're not following my network, please go and follow it on Facebook because that's where I'm transitioning from my regular page and everything that I'm doing will be doing. I'll be doing it on that page. So as soon as we end
Okay.
this video, I'm going to put the necessary information on that page, how to get to the website so everybody can see what they need to see about the pageant. But thank y'all so much for just giving me this opportunity to rebrand myself. The one thing I've always appreciated is my community. I have always had faith in my community, regardless of what has transpired, and I'm going to always have faith in it. So thank you for supporting me, and thank you for doing this interview for me. I
You
appreciate
are
you.
more than welcome. I appreciate you. And we look forward to all things Tamisha Iman. Holla, holla, you know me, know. So, yes, I will see you in a couple of weeks down in Nolens. And
Nolan.
the down in Nolens, yes. And I will definitely be following your page and looking for all of the things of the things. So,
Okay.
all of you, y'all heard the categories. Get ready. All of you people, there is no talent. So,
Oh, but listen, let me make this clear. I'm gonna let you go. If I don't get my contestant pool, once you see the website, I'm just gonna knock it in half. If
okay.
I reach my contestant pool, I'm so willing to be able to uphold that. But pageantry is not the same anymore, and this is not about me. It's about the community. It's about giving my new followers a show into our world. So it's a free
Right.
entry fee. You're not losing anything.
It's a free entry fee. A lot of y'all are sitting on packages from a couple of months ago. So
Hello.
please, please support our own. She is trying to do something for the community and not getting any gain out of it. So make sure that you all are doing that. We have support is in different areas and ways, and this could be one of the ones. So bring those packages from November the 1st through the 3rd. And we will see y'all. It's a lot of lovely stuff that came across that stage. So come on over, honey. And
All right.
yeah.
I'm finna post
All
the
right.
website, guys. Thank y'all.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good
Y'all have a
night.
good
Go to my
night.
website. Bye. Bye, guys.